The Grand Final is a pinnacle of any tournament, whether it's an NBA final that has taken over 1 year to conclude as you're watching your team win the final, or it's a Super Bowl and the whole country gathers around to see who will be the champion of the world. No matter what, a Grand Final is the way to get the viewers, as it has been proven over and over that no matter what team that plays, the viewers will always come, since you do not want to see the best teams in the world compete to prove who's the greatest.
This Grand Final is far from over. It will be determined on Dust 2.
ESL Pro League is one of the few big events any team in Counter-Strike wants to win, as it's almost up there with Katowice at the Cologne of the world, as a few big events you as a player and org wants on your resume that is not a major. It's a grueling month-ish long event that sees the best team in the world compete to lift the trophy. NAVI was our first finalist, and NAVI has been on a tear lately, making it to the playoffs in the last 7 events, and made it to the grand final in 6 of them. NAVI is a behemoth in Counter-Strike 2 right now, and at Pro League Season 20 it was no different. NAVI landed in Group A, where we had notable teams like FaZe Clan and Heroic, and here NAVI went on a tear, beating all of their opponents 2-0, like it was not even close, as NAVI booked the playoff tickets first of any teams. And most would have expected this. After all, NAVI are our major champions. Looking in your playoff spot straight from the group stage will allow you to skip playoff stage 1 and 2 and set yourself up in the quarterfinals. And this is crucial for NAVI, as it gives the player more time off and more time to prepare. In the quarterfinals, NAVI met Spirit.
So this NAVI team I think is going to be much stronger than some of the previous matchups they've played against Team Spirit.
Absolutely. And NAVI, this is a team that never really has problems against the underdogs, right? We see them, and when they're the heavy favorite, they absolutely prove it every step of the way.
A team hailed with 2 superstars in Shiro and Dunk.
17 years of age, we've never seen anything like him before.
Oh, the shadow betrays Carrigan. The AWP dispatches of him, and look at Dunk do it! That's disgusting! Revolting from Dunk!
Maybe the strongest duo in Counter-Strike, but lately things has been looking bad for Spirit, with a lot of early exits from events and playoffs. And the story was no difference here, with NAVI swiftly sending Spirit home in an airplane after 2-0ing them.
Donk, there's no saving this series, there's no saving your lifeline, it's NAVI off to those semi-finals.
After was G2, and here they managed to give NAVI their first loss on a map.
They know where he was, and they know where he is! We're going to 3, ancient required!
But it was not enough, as NAVI won 2-1 and locked in the first spot in the grand final.
Any way back into this side, or is this where the game is lost? It looks very good for NAVI. 5 alive, m0NESY will shift the tide with 1, and that's all. m0NESY empty-handed after the first, and NAVI secure it. The grand final.
If NAVI wins Pro League, they will be the 4th most winning team of Pro League, shared with FaZe Clan and Liquid of 2 wins, a big milestone. NAVI has one key weakness in all of this, and that is the best of 5 format in the finals. Most event uses the format of best of 3, meaning the team that can win 2 maps in the final will win the event. And in a best of 3 match, both teams start by banning 1 map each, leaving the map pool down to 5 maps. Then both teams pick 1 map, and then they get to ban 1 more map each, and the last map is the decider. This gives teams a clear advantage, as here you can ban your insta-ban, as well as 1 more map either you as a team don't feel comfortable on, or where the enemy team has proven to be better on. While in the best of 5 you have a different tactic, as it's now first to win 3 maps. And here you only get to ban 1 map each, and after that you need to pick the map based on what you want to play and when, but as well as what side you want to play on first. As if NAVI wants to pick what side to start Mirage on, they will not pick Mirage after the ban phase, to force the enemy team to pick it so they can decide between CT or T side. And in the last few grand finals NAVI has been to, they have won every single best of 3 grand final, but lost every single best of 5 grand final. Our second finalist was Eternal Fire.
Runs the first, 2 more to get past, jump in, best the shot, and the hard player gets it done. Centaurus takes it to 13-10, 2-0. Eternal Fire, the Turkish team in the grand final.
Before this event, Eternal Fire was ranked as the 10th best team in the world, so no joke of a team. But that means there should technically be 8 other teams that should have been in the grand final. So what happened here? Eternal Fire was a team known by some of the players' name, with Voxic and Centaurus being the big names, as Voxic has 1 Pro League trophy under his belt with Mouseport.
Go the distance, and they get it done in 3. You can see how much this means to Mouse. The champions here, they crush Fnatic.
Where he was regarded as one of the best snipers in the world in the 2019 era of Counter-Strike.
Take this fight again, it's Krieg versus Zorp, and precise as always. An 11th for Woxic and a crucial opener for Mousesports. It was 6 in a row, and he's got 2 in a row. 4! Suck jumps into the jaws, and Woxic, he's so damn hungry here. He's had his dinner. And he's got 5! It doesn't doesn't matter where they come from.
As well as Antares has been a star player for many years, known as the biggest what-if in Counter-Strike history, after he was not able to win much in his career after he left Big.
Have a little bit of time before they need to go for it.
What even was that? That's an instant 180. How does he get that?
Ridiculous, isn't it?
What the hell? Xantares, you monster.
Now, they don't actually have a kit picked up. I don't know if there's one on the bomb side, but yeah, they need to do something here. He's getting tagged a little bit. They know where he is, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna get 4 kills, and now he sees Vinny, and there's the ace at the end. What a absolutely beastly round from Xantares.
But Eternal Fire is the core of Space Station, a team that in 2018 shocked the Counter-Strike world when a Turkish team managed to get 9th place in a major, barely missing out on the playoffs. Going into the group stage, Eternal Fire was not a favorite, with FaZe, Heroic and NAVI being the teams most thought would make it through. But after FaZe met their match in the first round, they set up the way for Eternal Fire to the playoff quite nicely, as they first beat FlyQuest, an up-and-coming team, and then Senegal, the 8th lowest team, before losing to NAVI in the Group A final. In the playoff, Eternal Fire had an easier route, than most at least. After beating Mongols, it was only Vitality that was a real challenge for Eternal Fire in the playoffs. And Vitality is a tough team, coming into this event as the 2nd best team in the world, and who most thought would meet NAVI in the finals.
Here in Malta, he's gone down, and Eternal Fire break the streak. A 3-map affair, stomped in the middle, but sandwiched between 2 spectacular overtime affairs.
And narrowly missing out, allowing Eternal Fire to beat MIBR and meet NAVI for the rematch in Grand Final. And this is big for the Turkish scene, as it has been one of those nationalities that has been overlooked for many years, in both talent pool and seriousness, due to never having a team make it far, ever since Space Station in 2018, 6 years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, NAVI are going to the quarterfinals!
Anubis is a very dynamic map with 2 levels, where both mid and water controls most of the games we will see at any level. NAVI has just had a timeout, after both teams has traded rounds up until this point in the match. But this does not look too bad for most, but it's the way it all have happened for NAVI that is forcing them to call a timeout and figure this out. NAVI won the pistol and the 2nd round, but on their bonus, Eternal Fire just destroyed them. NAVI managed only 1 kill and no plant.
Denying that aggression from JL. And Wonderful has way too many to get past. Successful retake, and Eternal Fire will be able to take the first gun round.
And that is an issue on a bonus round, as this will stabilize the economy for Eternal Fire. NAVI as well lost round 3, promising start, forces NAVI down to a eco. In round 9, NAVI had to change. And as we all know, water and mid are the 2 crucial points to control early. NAVI wants to win both. When Bit early takes control of water, and set himself up here with JL able to trade. As well as in mid, NAVI will boost up Wonderful to try to find an opening, and with all of this pressure NAVI has used early, this forces AF super passive and allows Alexi to do this, and NAVI takes the round.
That's going to stop anyone trying to trade. Meanwhile, Alexi springs the trap over in middle. That's a very forward play from Alexi B, runs across.
Eternal Fire are not on a great buy, with 3 pistols and 2 rifles, while NAVI are on a full buy after winning the last 5 rounds. And Eternal Fire's mid game gives NAVI all they want, water and mid control, for free, as they want NAVI to get this info. When you control all of this, you are kind of forced to go A, as you have water and mid control. And here Eternal Fire are ready and waiting with 4 players for the A main push, and quickly Eternal Fire finds 2 kills for no trades, and NAVI are ringing the alarms. As well as Wonderful outside of A main is found after only getting 1 kill, and is down to a 4v2.
Number 1. Big. Oh dear. This could get out of hand. This could get out of control. They've walked right into the nest of pistols.
How will NAVI win this? Well, NAVI have sight and better guns, but are lacking utility. So here NAVI have to hope for Eternal Fire to overpeak, or just general finding some openings, and a way back into this round. JL finds Vicadia, and that is the opening NAVI needs, as they use some utility towards main to force Eternal Fire back, buying NAVI more time. And an impossible round from NAVI is won, by great utility and finding amazing openings to win the round.
They only come into it with those saved guns, and they get so close to upsetting NAVI, but it is locked in.
NAVI had the lead of 12-10, and now Eternal Fire are 1 round away to force the game into overtime. And here it's Major in a 1v2 to do this for the Turkish side. But he has caught a lucky break, as when he peeks camera, he sees Ime, who just turned around. And here he now has the advantage in the round.
And now tries to creep up to shut down these players up in heaven. Bomb drop, 20 seconds left. Someone's got to make a move to grab that, or you've got to go for the kills.
But the bomb is not planted. Voxic dies and Mayer is able to trade, but a lucky break hits. As when he whiffs the spray, Ime swings out and they line up for him to win a not so clean, but crucial round to keep the match going.
No one's moving a muscle right now. Woxic dead. Calix, they line up for him.
Overtime is an interesting concept in Counter-Strike, as it can go forever, as you can see from this Face-It game from CSGO. Overtime is where both teams hit round 12, without anyone reaching 13 before the other. And here the game goes to a MR3 system, with both teams getting 3 rounds on both sides, and it's first to win 4 rounds. And if both teams wins 3, well, we go again with 6 new rounds, all the way until a team hits 4 rounds won in 1 overtime. Eternal Fire has made the overtime close, but in round 37 we can see some glimpse of what Mirage shows us later, and here we can see NAVI in a crucial round, tearing Eternal Fire apart. On the B fake, NAVI shuts down Eternal Fire rather fast, and Eternal Fire are forced to push A on the fake, as if they wait too long, they can't keep the illusion of the fake alive.
Bomb over towards the A side of the map as all this is going down. Alexi takes Wakadia out of the equation.
But here Bit molotovs them off, falls behind the pillar and asks for this flash, and Bit shines like he always do.
Oh, flash in, Bit teed up perfectly. JL with the assist. Hell of a lob on that flashbang.
The last map was Mirage, and here NAVI destroyed Eternal Fire, to the point where Eternal Fire stopped banning Ancient against NAVI and rather banned Mirage for the final. And yes, Mirage is Eternal Fire's second most banned map in Pro League. Well, now we have seen the first matchup. Let's go over to the grand final and break down what went right and wrong for both teams. Nuke is a map dominated by ramp and outside control, and usually a map where the T side have to find an opening before they can even go and take a site. We are entering round 3, and after 2 good rounds by Eternal Fire, NAVI will finally be able to buy and have a fighting chance going into this round. As round 3 is always crucial, for Eternal Fire this will be their way to snatch a lead, as winning this round will allow them to get a 5th round and a great start. But for NAVI, winning this round will allow them to buy next and have a shot at equalizing the game and getting the momentum rolling in their favor. NAVI starts early with a setup of a Bit early will go here towards ramp in an off angle. Be ready for a fast play towards ramp. One on the roof holding for the lobby push is an amazing off angle. One player outside just making sure NAVI have some presence there, and then the last 2 are here, and one to hold lobby with the rest of the team. NAVI's goal are for either Bit or the outside player to find some information or a kill before committing to any plays. Eternal Fire are going for 1 player outside, 1 in ramp and 1 in heaven as a rotator, and then 2 on A site. And this is a very default way to play Nuke on the CT side, but Eternal Fire still has the Turkish roots, as the ramp player will go for this flash and peek towards lobby from ramp. And this flash is perfect as Bit tries to time it but gets fully flashed. And this is key for both teams. Eternal Fire knows NAVI has a player close ramp, while NAVI are seeing an aggressive peek towards ramp early from Eternal Fire. In the meantime, Emu will use the smoke spot NAVI and Eternal Fire through to his advantage, as he has found an opening. And as the lurker outside, this is the gold mine of a play. This will be crucial for information towards outside, and just a surprise factor from NAVI on an execute. Alexi B from spawn has been waiting for Emu to get under silo. Here we'll go for the outside smoke wall, and this wall is thrown to cause confusion and a reaction from Eternal Fire, as this will in theory allow NAVI to take secret, a spot Eternal Fire are not holding. And as the wall is thrown like this, it will force Eternal Fire to push like this straight to Ema, and a nice opening. And that is what NAVI wants to achieve. And as a plan B, our second goal is to force the ramp player to rotate and then take ramp. And why Bid is still close to ramp, biding his time. Some towers on these smokes will, after they have landed, go outside and hold silo. Very risky, as Eternal Fire has not been looking silo at all. But since Vicadia is here, he would have been able to hear if a player jumped silo. So here some towers feel safe enough to go for this peek. And now the masterclass is on. On the wall smoke, Emu will peek out and just hold, while NAVI will fake an upper hit from the roof and then go ramp with 3 players on this flash. A great way to get everyone involved, as the roof player can hold for any flanks from lobby, the outside player will hold the secret rotation, and the ramp players can take ramp control. But a great Molotov from Calix forces NAVI to stay, and this buys Woxic enough time to run down from heaven and help his ramp player. And Bit had 1 smoke left, but I would assume NAVI wanted him to use this for the side take. But some stuff are happening, since all good plans always has a plan B. So on the stop in ramp, Emu will walk out and find 1 kill. And at the same time, NAVI will Molotov Woxic to force him out, since he has to help his teammate. And we are seeing trades in ramp. And it's a 3v2 for NAVI. And to make the play perfect, when the CT loses this many players and this fast, the calls are everywhere. And here Major tries to walk out into lobby, only to be found by the 1 player in an off angle, holding for this, and NAVI takes a crucial round.
Come pretty close as he swings through the smoke, finding Xantares. They still go into the stack, and they get mauled for it. Alexi recovering the round with a huge entry, putting things in the favor of NAVI. They've still got this big flank. The aggression's tamed, and that's a really nice set piece for NAVI.
A crucial detail about Nuke is that the sides and paths to the sides are very narrow and closed, and why the T side usually wants to find an opening kill or two before going for an execute, or at least faking a play towards ramp or outside to make sure not too many players will be on A or B side. Eternal Fire is set up for an A hit, has played it smart by having an AWP more open so he can have impact that is crucial for this round. Let's now see what happens when you don't do this properly and just try to force a side take. NAVI will have 3 players outside, throwing the smoke wall and using a lot of utility. Their goal is to force Eternal Fire to have 2 players watching outside, so the 2 lobby players can take A side versus fewer players. And then the outside players can win main or secret for the second push of the round from NAVI. So Xantares gets spotted in secret, and this puts an issue to the whole NAVI game plan, as the goal is to force Eternal Fire to be in the unknown, but now Xantares can call if any players will go down secret or not, allowing Eternal Fire to stay put and just wait. NAVI will try to chase, but realize it's too late as Xantares can be everywhere, and giving him 1 kill and not being able to trade back will ruin the round. And that is not a chance NAVI wants to take. NAVI understands they have been red and want to just win A fast, as they have 2 lobby players ready. But here it all goes wrong. Bit from the roof will do this fun drop while he gets a teammate to flash for him like this, as this hits both main and roof. So it's a good flash, but no one is there to catch it, as he peeks into 3 players and dies. The curse of an entry. But NAVI's lobby players will run out and use this main flash to help Bit. Only issue is how delayed the flashes are. Bit is not even peeking when the main player flashes, as well as the roof player's flashes are being thrown when Bit dies, not before he enters sight. So not too ideal here. Voxic finds 2 kills, and in a round where NAVI should have had it, well, it's now a 3v5. Ime from main is able to find 1 kill as Eternal Fire stops holding it, while Ime struggles to pick up the AK. Xantares goes full on crazy and runs up the vents and finds 1 more kill before Ime can trade back. As well as Voxic on the Xantares peak will use him as a bait, and finding JL.
Allowing Eternal Fire to play a really heavy up setup, they're going to need it.
Oh, Voxic in a bit of an odd position, but he's still going to be able to fight there on Idiot Wall. It's ringing around, hoping that the pistols can help him out here, and it's looking pretty bloody good so far. Ima, given an opportunity to take that fight, picks up the AK. Xantares fighting up the vent, and now Voxic gets it done with another. Magic chimes in on the dig, and we got a 4v4 situation.
NAVI starts with 3 players outside, using the cross smokes, and then having Ime taking a lot of damage running through the Molotov outside that the CTs has thrown, while NAVI then have 2 players lobby, so a very default setup. Bit again goes for the main roof jump to win even more outside control, and this has worked perfect as he is able to force the outside player of Eternal Fire under heaven. NAVI has placed both low buys inside secret, in the hope that Eternal Fire will carelessly walk into secret and be killed, while Bit will use the space to his advantage and take heaven control from outside. And here Bit will be able to find 1 player who was tasked with walking out and finding some info outside, and NAVI are up early. This kill forces the ramp player to fall back to help towards heaven and outside. So this has created a gap in ramp NAVI could maybe abuse. But it's not all perfect, as Xantares finds 1 kill back in secret, and this is an issue, as this shows the lack of map control from NAVI will be an issue here. Now that they can't hold secret, Bit is kinda stuck alone under heaven, and NAVI have no information towards any of the sites. So here we need to win back some kills and control. Ime is found, but NAVI trades back fast, and then the game goes down to a 3v2 in NAVI's favor, as NAVI used the outside pressure to allow JL to sneak behind and out on A to find the man advantage. NAVI overlooks heaven, and this allows Calyx to find 1 kill and equalize the position. And now Eternal Fire is in the driver's seat, as they know where both NAVI players are. And a massive mistake from NAVI. JL goes for the Molotov as soon as Bit is taking heaven.
Coming up. Oh, the timing! The timing in the Molotov as well! That's JL's. It separates them 2v2.
NAVI will be able to plant and re-Molotov heaven to make sure rotations are slower, while Xantares will join his teammate from heaven. Not the best spot to retake from, but they have good utility to make it easier, as Xantares has a full set of it left. Bit gets predicted and naded out, while JL finds a trade but can't win the 1v1.
So far this tournament needs to fire up. Good nade, Molly in the same spot. Bit's gonna burn alive, won't get damage done, but it's JL tapping away. He's so good on these lines. Smoke gonna be going forward. Calyx looking for a fight here, and he's gonna take him down.
Eternal Fire uses this spawn smoke on top of the roof, as this helps with any outside takes, as this closes off main, so you can focus Garage and Heaven and not think too much about any refrags or peeks from main. Then Eternal Fire is fast to send 3 players outside on the early utility and keep one in lobby. Eternal Fire has used these smokes, a very interesting way to take outside control, with a great main smoke and a smoke from hell. And then rather than using the cross smoke, they will flash and peek out with 3 players, and here they can find the opening, a great twist on the outside take you do not see often, as this is a way to actually know what happens outside and how Navi plays outside, rather than just cross outside and let the unknown of outside stay like that. Navi are using their guns perfect. Ima in main, hiding. All he wants to do is to get a T close so he can change the disadvantage of the SMG to an advantage, and here he misses, as he swings out for no good reason into 2 players and Major wins this duel. This leaves only 1 player left on A site, who only has an SMG, so it's now an issue. Major reign of terror is over, but as soon as Navi sees the light, they will be pulled back in, as Centaurus used all the utility outside to walk up Heaven and find Split trying to rotate in. And this play is all thanks to Major pushing site, forcing Navi to create a gap in Heaven, and then the outside utility allowing Centaurus to walk up Heaven as fast and unseen. But a lot of bragging, only for Wonderful to do the impossible, as in the 1v3 he is able to wide swing from hot and find 1 main player, only player with HP of Eternal Fire, as Voxic tries to peek back but gets tagged down, and here Centaurus opts not to peek, as now with only 2 players left, Wonderful know where both are. Wonderful goes squeaky, and here is able from vents to split up Eternal Fire and kill the Heaven player without being traded, and Centaurus gives away his position. Wonderful knows where to look and can deal with Centaurus to win the 1v3.
Headshot. Where's everyone else? Okay, 1 up in Heaven. Zantar's 3B. Now you know where Wonderful is. Another 1v3, this time with an AK. And
Still
look at the
got
health. He's doing so good.
Ooh, they may have jumped this one. They're going to double group. This is cheeky. Wonderful takes space. This is such a good play for Wonderful. He's going to clear out main. He's going to know that it has to be Heaven by process of elimination. That or the lobby. There's no one in there.
Only problem is Eternal Fire now have 2 Molotovs to play with. If they send them to the right positions, then Wonderful might just be locked out.
Oh, he can pick one out of the puzzle right now. Eats an AWP shot, finishes the job. Does he know? Back of the site, spamming early. Zantares gives his position away, and he still doesn't have that bomb. Wonderful. Molly gives him lots of room to move. A 1v3 for Wonderful with an ace in the round to keep Navi in this map.
Anubis is a very dynamic map with 2 levels, where both mid and water controls most of the games we will see at any level. It's not going well for Eternal Fire, and after round 6 conclude, Eternal Fire call a timeout to try to make this game more competitive. Eternal Fire setup in a 3-1-1 setup. This is common setup, as B is way harder to retake and much harder to even hold, as there are many good setups that T can use to take site fast. On B, Eternal Fire will have 1 player backside holding main as the first contact, then 1 close to main as the off-angle surprise player, and the last players towards water but not peeking, as usually the T will be faster to water. Then Eternal Fire have 1 player in mid, playing it safe as he knows he will be smoked off, and the last player playing towards A in the hopes of finding a kill and fall back. Now we're going for a very split up setup with 2 towards middle, very split up, and then 1 outside of B and 2 towards water. Again very split up, and at first glance this setup does not make sense, as they can't really trade. But the setup is helped with these early utility Navi uses to justify the focus on early map control. With this smoke for middle, making mid a one-way street, almost allowing Navi only needing 1 player to take it early, and 1 early and deep smoke towards connector to force Eternal Fire to fall off water, making it so Wonderful have no issue taking it alone. But Navi are playing versus Eternal Fire, and here the timeout. Eternal Fire wanted to switch up the pace, and here Voxic finds Ima, the lurker outside of B, where Voxic just walks out, and since Navi are so split up, it's a 1v1 that Voxic will win.
I like this. There's early info on its way. Woxic's about to search B main, and he does more than search. He finds.
At the same time, Navi has been able to take a lot of mid control, and as we can see, the mid players of Eternal Fire has already fallen off, giving Navi a lot of crucial map control back. Vicaria gets played by a nade on the smoke to break it, and he's off angle while it's not looking good. And he will be able to get a 1-for-1 trade, amazing to see, and this keeps Eternal Fire in the advantage.
Get it from Woxic, but he's back in well. Vicaria lights it up. Jail with an instant trade at the Alexi mid-lurk impact 1 more time.
Alexi being middle tries to make something of this lurk, but Eternal Fire last A player just gets away from a backstab, and this forces Alexi B to make a decision to either go A or to try to go behind B. Alexi B's lurk has forced Navi to rotate back, and Alexi B's only call here is to let him cook. And we can see Alexi B able to find one kill and bring the round down to a 3v3. But Anubis is all about map control, so Alexi B will not push side, but rather hold for the rotation. And here's a mistake, as Calyx can walk into middle and take back mid control, as well as Voxic is not crossing middle to get to site. On the execute, Navi uses some utility, but Wonderful has a crucial miss in water. Well, it's not a miss, but it's sure not a kill. Never mind, there's the miss. Voxic on the retake finds the first kill, as this player is stuck on site, after water players were able to stay alive for so long.
Accepts defeat, backs away, a 6th round for Navi. Alexi B wants to twist the knife. He wants to pour salt into the wound, a wide swing on the up, trying to beat the shot in any way he can. Voxic, he made it! Loses the off!
Both teams is full bot, and Navi is starting to build a lead to show how much better they have gotten on Anubis since the last time Eternfire and Navi met. And here we get a listen in with Alexi B.
Guys, if you want to win, we need to be super creative and we need to be on the same page, because I can see from mid that we have no idea what we're doing.
And this is crucial information and a sign of a good leader. Even up by 4 rounds, he's still telling everyone what to work on to cement this map for Navi, and I agree here with Alexi B. The mid control Navi have tried on the T side has not worked out so much, and they have been relying on lurkers towards B and water. Navi are going for 1 player fast in water, 1 using utility from here, 1 lurker outside of B and 2 in middle. A very default setup from Navi, as well as using mid smoke and B main Molotov. While Eternfire are going for 2 players on B side, focusing water and A main, but in a setup where they can trade and double swing water if needed. 1 in middle, hiding here using a Molotov to make sure Navi can't push early, and a 2 on A side. Wonderful will start the round to rush through the Molotov from CTs as soon as they have thrown them, and Wonderful does not take any damage at all, as the Molotov is just thrown too late from Santares as he was being blocked when running to middle. A crucial mistake that cost them half a second and gave Wonderful this opening. But I'm not done with Wonderful. Remember Alexi B said they need to be super creative?
Guys, if you want to win, we need to be super creative.
Well, the Rumbus Navi goes for would categorize as that. What a way to take water and push con fast. Learn this so maybe you can pull it off in a million years. Eternfire are fast to smoke off water, as they can hear the drop, and I have no clue how, and this is when you understand some pro sees the map as blueprint or matrix code, as Wonderful swings the smoke and perfectly tags Calyx down to half HP. But Santaris uses this as he understands mid is weaker, and finds Alexi B, so for all of this, Navi are a player down, as well as losing bridge control, never ideal, as this gives CTs much leverage over the round. Let's look at both teams. All players but 3 are under 6 HP, so this round can still go anywhere. But Santaris is not done. As I said, he used to be regarded as one of the best, and here through the smokes he goes out and finds 1 more kill. And I just know Alexi B is fuming right now.
Players on both sides through the smoke, disrespect for Zantares, and Navi are caught by surprise.
Apparently, being creative equals aggression.
And he just called. They have no idea how to hold middle. And just this round, Navi has lost 2 players due to this. But here we are seeing some misplays, with Vicaria in a 5v2 solo pushing and dying. Never ideal giving this up, but no worries, it's still a 4v2. Wonderful, as he is spotted, will fake a site with the AWP to set up Ema to hopefully win a 1v2 or 1v3, but it goes wrong, after Wonderful is not able to find anyone and leaves Ema in a 1v4. But here we can see it's doable. He only needs to deal with the site players, giving him room and time to win the 1v2. Mayor peeks for info and is found, and Ema is perfect on the pre-fire and finds Calyx. And Ema buying himself 1 more year with Navi after he finds the last 2 players and wins the 1v4. Great peaks and amazing positional awareness in the 1v2.
Start you want.
Ooh, gets the swing out of Maja and he's going to shoot. No! Ema finds Calyx.
Go on.
Chance to plant. Knowledge of the last 2, a smoke as well available to him. He is cooking and he's going for a crazy one. It's not planted. I repeat, not planted for CT.
But the timing, if he plays as quick as he can, he could flank this temple move. Instead, he comes back. He's cleared it out.
Did he make noise?
I don't think so. You can drop off that silent. Ema, presumably in a powerful position here. He just has to consider this smoke very soon. They could line up. This is a 1v4. Cooking for Navi. Ema playing safe. Watch it swings, and Ema wins.
Unbelievable from Ema.
I will not break down this round, but rather economy aspect of this round. So you can see Counter-Strike 2 is more than just shooting and killing. As we can see, Navi goes for a full buy, while Eternfire does the same. So what is the issue here? Well, the winner will be able to buy for the rest of the game, while the loser will have to have a weaker buy for the last 2 rounds. And Navi has a lead of 5 rounds, but by ruining the buy for themselves here, well, this lead could easily become a 7-5 half and not a 10-2 or 9-3, not ideal for NAVI. And NAVI gets red and loses the round, while Eternal Fire has 3 players surviving. Eternal Fire has just booked the tickets to keep this game alive, while NAVI, well, they should have saved the next round. So they can full buy in the last round, but here they rather forces pistol, SMGs and rifles, like if they had money to do so. And just like that, 2 rounds of unfortunate money management and a lack of income, just like me, as they are not able to plant nor get any of kills, has put the game back to a 7-5 half.
Alexi's got a lot to deal with.
Glad Alexi's not playing here. He's letting his team actually get space in the site. He doesn't want to swing and give away that heaven kill, but that leaves it open for the taking. And Wakani just comes through and throws 2 knockout blows. Bit no chance to save this half of an Eternal Fire. Have a CT side they can be proud of.
Let's hop in to the retake and talk about this one, as there is just so many factors and misplay and more that loses NAVI and almost EF the round. On the execute, it's a 5v4 in NAVI's favor, but there is something odd. NAVI wants to show everyone how good they are with money, and here they only have 2 kits brought into the round. All the other 3 players could have bought kit. This will be crucial. Just wait. NAVI have 3 players on site, but the positions are not optimal, with 2 temple, 1 stuck alone on site, while Eternal Fire are going for 1 player outside of A to catch rotators, 1 in connector and 2 A main. Here Eternal Fire Molotovs Ime off backside and smokes the cross, and this allows Ime to get back safe, as well as Eternal Fire are able to plant. Santaris starts the round with a classic Santaris peak, and it's down to a 4v4. Ime goes on to Pizza, an amazing off angle, an unexpected play, but a team flash from Wonderful fully blinds Ime on site.
Bringing us back into a 4v4, Ime calls jail clear. Team flash, still gets one!
And here, he is now a weakness for NAVI and not an asset. Ime is still able to find 1 kill, but here he could have done so much more. This death loses NAVI a lot of site control, as we can see NAVI are kind of stuck here. Bit and JL tries to find something but can't, and it's only Wonderful left. One of the best clutchers in the world at the moment. And to win a clutch like a 1v3, you need to think about where the enemies are, and that is easy as 2 of them is in connector and 1 A main, as Ime heard them run there earlier. Then you need to see how you can force the fight to be 1v1, and Wonderful will do this by first finding the trade to Calyx. This now sets up Eternal Fire in a way that can easily be fought 1v1, and Wonderful taps the bomb to force any players to swing on his tap, and he can find Voxic. This kill forces Vicadia to peek, and here he is found. And with so low time, he would have had just enough time if there were a kit, and he did not do this little stop before defusing. But since he did not have a kit, and had to run to get it, he just misses the defuse by half a second.
But they have got angles. Bit gonna get caught out again, looks away, Woxic delivers, Woxic continues to deliver. Wonderful, what's he got? No kit, I'll tell you that much. Despite the low HP, time on their side, the Turkish side securing their 6th and less. Wonderful picks up the kit.
Oh, he may have had time, but now it's going to be so close.
I don't think he had time.
And Anubis got close. But in the end, a massive lead from NAVI sees them barely winning it 13-11. And NAVI ties up the final 1-1. And everyone now knew we had a great final ahead of us.
No time to dilly-dally. Gonna stick that bomb, and NAVI live to fight another round. 3 kills from Wonderful, impact where it matters.
It's not easy though, is it?
Nothing's easy in this game.
This is some back and forth Counter-Strike.
Ancient is one of those maps where early aggression favors both sides, with middle being the main factors of this, where the CTs will always use early utility to win it, while the T will do the same. And whoever comes out of the bloodbath usually wins the round. The game is very similar to Anubis, with both teams trading rounds, and seems like none of them can string more than 2 rounds together. So here we need to see a change, as NAVI calls a first time out, as they know how crucial a round like this can be. Eternal Fire are on the CT side, and has a full buy and full utility, as well as some money left. Not a lot, but some. While NAVI has a full buy and some money left, so both teams are in the same situation, where this round will likely decide who wins the half. As whoever loses this is forced to take 2 lower buys, giving the other teams 2 more rounds, on paper at least. Eternal Fire are going for 3 players in middle, 2 on B, and leaving A open. And this might look odd, but on a map like Ancient, due to how crucial mid is and how easy from donut you can stop an A plant, makes it so having A unguarded early is not too bad for the CTs. And here early on, we will see some utility from Eternal Fire going bottom mid to force NAVI away, as well as from B we are seeing some utility over this wall to force NAVI not to take Fortnite and cave early, as Eternal Fire wants to control these parts of the map fast. While NAVI are going for 1 in middle, 1 outside of A holding for a push, 1 in spawn using utility and setting up the mid player. and the last two players going towards B, a very common setup. NAVI uses some early utility in middle, and then on the delayed spawn flashes, we will see EMA trying to go out in middle, as these flashes forces EF back. As well as now, NAVI have smoked cave. This makes it so the mid players of Eternal Fire has to be watching for Fortnite push as well. So NAVI early has managed to split the attention of the mid players to make the job of retaking mid much easier. EMA goes for a peek.
Xantares to trade or vice versa. Xantares steps into the line of fire.
But is hit by a Molotov, so the donut players will be ready. And here Xantares goes to an off angle to make sure he is far enough out so the Fortnite players can't swing him. As well as EMA will not expect this position from him. And here Xantares finds the first kill of the round. But look at NAVI, they have 4 players ready to re-hit middle. As it seems like this was a decoy play from EMA to get information. Only miss is that EMA died here, not able to look donut or red room. So NAVI still is unsure what to even do, as they don't have as much control in middle as they wanted. The reheat comes fast from NAVI, as Mayor overpeaks and Mayor only does this since Xantares wanted to cross, and here Mayor is found and dealt with, while Xantares gets stuck and spotted in cubby, as NAVI wants to win back middle. And the delay hit from NAVI wins them the man advantage. So how can Eternal Fire win this back? Well, NAVI only have mid control, and some A main control. So here Calyx from Cave is able to kill Alexi B, trying to use some utility, so after all that happened in middle, the game is down to a 3v3. Bit is kind of forced to run out, as JL is taking CT control, and Wonderful is coming main, and here he is found. Might look dumb, but it's all done to set up JL, with the information he could get on site. But it seems like Calyx knows, as after he gets the kill on LXB, he runs straight back to site and towards middle, as he knows some players could have sneaked their way into middle, and this fast thinking and just faster clearing than JL allows Calyx to catch JL from behind.
This is crazy. So who goes first? Calyx is still moving. JL is 2. Wonderful pausing. And there's the profit for Calyx. Catches JL. Now good idea as to where this last player may be. Is he going for the hold? That's going to be an easy frag. And there we have 4.
The sides have switched. NAVI has a commanding lead of 9-5, but that does not mean it's over, as NAVI are going into this round as a bonus with 2 SMGs and 3 rifles, while Eternal Fire are finally able to buy, and knows how important this round is for them if they want to be competitive for this map. NAVI are going for 2 in middle and 3 on B, as this is very common, where in middle you will start with the spawn smoke that is thrown to block out middle like this, and not this, as the way of smoking from red room leaves some space for the T's to abuse, while this one forces the T far back away from middle. And some nades are being used to do some damage to any T's that decides to push the smoke, but breaks the smokes as well, so EMA, who is down fast middle, can be able to find a free kill. As well as from B, NAVI uses some nades to make sure Eternal Fire can't push Fortnite, allowing EMA to be safe for now when going for this mid peak. Eternal Fire are going 3 players towards A and mid, and 2 towards B, where one will be further back to hold for any players pushing down ramp, while the other wants to go middle or cave. Eternal Fire uses some early nades towards cave and a Molotov on B, but not too much. Here NAVI wants to be cheeky with a 1-2 punch combo of Alexi B nading the smoke while EMA peeks from the crates, and this will reveal a player using the smoke to hide. Here Vicaria can find the kill onto EMA, and the little strat NAVI went for has backfired, but Alexi B is able to swing out, jumping to get the trade, and even fall back.
Keeps his gun out and has nothing to report on the walk up. Oh, Vicaria, an important one, but a flying Alexi B, and a re-peek out a bit.
As the other Eternal Fire player is focusing ramp from doors, something he does not have to do after they Molotov ramp early, so a little mismanagement of where to hold from Eternal Fire. Quickly it's down to a 2v2, and now we should be happy so far, as their bonus has yielded 3 kills, and might even win this round. Something that would mean the match is over for Eternal Fire most likely. But after bait is found, Eternal Fire can walk out on A site without any NAVI players there. And I'm going to be honest, after Wonderful does this damage to Major, we all knew Eternal Fire would lose this round, as they are not able to get any good post plant. So they can trade, as Eternal Fire are not able to get any good post plant position, so they can trade and rather wants to play bomb. Something that is hard when you almost have no HP and there's so much time left, and NAVI takes the round.
Yeah, the smoke's awkward, it's weird, and it does result in a nice spam onto Calyx. Madge at the 3 HP 1v2.
He needs to use this molly for the bomb, it's his only option.
Yeah, they don't have a smoke, so time is on his side in some way, shape or form, but there's already a smoke on it. Doesn't want to overplay his hand, has to call this first bluff. They've lost control of it. They've no idea. They're looking Temple, they're looking CT, boys. There's an actual universe where Magic can win this with 3 HP. Better be perfect. Oh, it's not, and Alexi can close it down. Oh, wow.
Ancient might only be game 3 of the final, but this is a break or lose match, as Ancient is the worst map of Eternal Fire over the last few months. So if Eternal Fire can win this will almost secure them the win in the final. So was it over for Eternal Fire? Well, since they got the plant, they forced in round 16 and managed to win, and going into round 17 they are met with a unique problem by winning this round. They break the bank of NAVI as well as start to be able to build their own, as long as not too many dies. So how will it go? It was a bloodbath. NAVI saw that mid early was something they could win, and here they sent 3 players down middle to focus not bottom mid but Fortnite. And here NAVI Molotovs over on B to force Eternal Fire to smoke it, and then NAVI nades it, giving Bit 3 kills. And the round is lost, and maybe Eternal Fire's chance at the grand final.
There's bodies close. Pushing through this smoke would be a death sentence, but they nade it! Oh, the team play! Alexi B sets up Bit, and he sprays down 3!
How deft are we on round 24? Eternal Fire was supposed to lose this game after round 17. What happened? NAVI had a lead of 12-7 and could not convert against pistols. And that was all the momentum Eternal Fire needed to bring this game back to round 24. Round 24 was crucial, but not interesting. So let's just dive into how NAVI won this round on the map. NAVI again used early utility so they could win bottom middle. And here Ima, after molotoving here to make sure Eternal Fire can't push, will hit this jump. That is quite a hard jump to hit, like go and try it. No wonder he is paid the big buccarinos. And this jump saves Ima a lot of time, something Vicaria is not ready for, as he is used to any mid players being up here after he is able to push his own smoke. But Ima hits the jump and is able to be just before Vicaria is able to smoke the molotov and run through, giving Ima and NAVI the opening kill of the round. But with some waiting from Eternal Fire, they're able to find 2 kills back, as Ima in middle overstays his welcome there, and Alexi B for some reason with an SMG pushes down. It made sense when Ima was alive, but if he falls back or dies, well, it's not easy for Alexi B holding it down anymore with an MP9. And Eternal Fire are back again, only JL is left on site. And the major MVP, well, he has to show once again how good he is. JL is playing it smart as he takes a ramp fight early to make sure he can buy his teammate enough time to rotate in.
Flashes to regain control. Alexi B eats them. Good clear, good util, and then Major activates in mid. JL tested. They don't find him. He peeks in again, isolates Woxic, removes him from the equation. Wonderful rotates through.
When JL falls back to reload, we will see Wonderful pop this flash to buy JL even more time to finish the reload. And JL finds 3 kills, almost solo. And just like that, the J legend shines to give NAVI the lead in the best of 5 grand final and 1 map off the trophy.
It's up to JL again, stubborn, solid as a rock on the long side, and 13 imminent unless Major's got something crazy. JL passing the test, he'll likely swing on this. A weird Molotov does spread, limits his options, his contributions. Bit pulls it across the line.
So far this grand final has been close, with all the games NAVI has won, bringing both games into round 24. While Eternal Fire has been more dominant throughout the games they have won in the grand finals. And for now this is only 1 map, but on Inferno we would see a common trend again. Inferno is banana control simulator. It's just early nades and more from both teams, and this is what controls the games early. Round 3 and NAVI can finally buy. Wait, they are playing with 3 SMGs and 2 pistol. Well, let us see what happened quickly in round 2. NAVI lost pistol and decided to go for a second round buy. And this did not go as well, as Eternal Fire was able to win the round with 3 players left, as well as NAVI able to save 3 players guns. But this forces NAVI to save in round 3. NAVI are going for 3 players B and 2 on A site, as this is somewhat an uncommon setup for most teams, but NAVI really likes this setup, as they can have 2 players fighting for banana control, while 1 can use utility and set them up. Eternal Fire going for 3 players second middle, 2 in banana. Again, a very uncommon setup from Eternal Fire. And here we will see Eternal Fire use some early utility towards apps and banana, as these are the most common spots to win early with utility from both teams. On A, NAVI has a strong 180-degree setup, as Bit will be towards long with a smoke out to hear if anyone decides to push up the middle, and why he has the smoke out and ready to throw, while Wonderful is playing close to get max potential out of his 5-7. Eternal Fire ready for this setup and lines up 2 nades just to deal with Bit, and he is crushed completely.
Ouch. Oh, okay.
That'll do.
And this is an issue, as now NAVI only have 1 player left on A, as well as Eternal Fire has not even pushed site yet, so NAVI still has no clue where Eternal Fire could go, and why they decide to push to have Ima to rotate B to A on this kill. Eternal Fire wants to go back to banana, as they know this kill will force rotation, but a delayed bottom banana smoke will stop them here. And this smoke is crucial as Navi has rotated 2 players from B to A. So here the Apps players from Eternal Fire wants to challenge middle to make sure Eternal Fire still has a lot of map control. After the second banana smoke from JL this time, Eternal Fire knows they need to make sure they keep map control, otherwise Navi might get the advantage over them. And here Eternal Fire will smoke long and take short with a Molotov and a flash. And look at Navi, all 4 players are on A, thanks to these 2 banana smokes. Might tell you the pressure is getting to Eternal Fire. Vicaria has a massive misplay. He presses Q right as he is peeked from sight, and this leaves him open, and here he is found. A brutal way to lose the man advantage. If I'm Vicaria, I'm unbinding the Q button before I'm even able to see my teammate's POV. But this death was good, as he could call 3 players were on A, so Eternal Fire will swiftly rotate and win the round on B side, with Navi only managing to save 2 SMGs into the next round.
Even some misthrown utility coming in left and right, but Eternal Fire so far so good. Navi, they're going to be buying into the next round, so we'll see if they opt to try and just suffocate the economy, go for those AKs. It looks exactly like that's what is happening here.
I'm skipping into the middle of this round. Eternal Fire has a great lead of 3 rounds and have the man advantage, so what could go wrong? Well, Eternal Fire has a lot of map control with top, middle, Apps and banana under lock, while Navi only has A site and CT under control. So for now this looks like Eternal Fire's round, but there are some issues. As Apps player can just walk out and find both players on site, as no one are looking right now. So what is the issue here? Well, Ime reposition and does an amazing swing onto the Apps players and equalize the position. And this will force Eternal Fire to now freeze up in hope of finding a trade. But here Wonderful peeks out, and I have no idea how Vicaria is not able to see him. Oh wait, I do. When you peek an angle, player furthest away from the angle will be able to see the player closer, as Wonderful is quite far away from the angle while Vicaria is closer, giving Wonderful the man advantage, as well as Vicaria is crouching and he gets a right eye advantage. And just like that, Navi has not only equalized the position, but won the man advantage from 2 creative peaks that gave both players the advantage, where Ime had the peeker advantage, Wonderful had the angle advantage. But these kills has made Alexi B walk back, and here Mayor can walk onto site, sees it's clear, and then pushes the CT smoke and finds Alexi B. All that amazing play from Navi has been equalized due to not having B control and listening to a player just pushing the smoke. Balls to do that in a massive final is insane.
He's going to be able to take B space. That CT smoke should still be up. Oh no.
He wins that.
Whoa.
But Ime is fast and here finds a trade after Mayor tries to flash and then run back. And it's all left to Voxic. And in 1v1 versus Wonderful, Wonderful is able to do this. Wonderful is able to again be amazing in 1v1s. And here Navi wins a crucial round from the disadvantage. And a great Molotov.
Now the Incendiary will force it into the fire. Wonderful. Yeah. Wow.
We are entering round 10, and this is a tipping point in the match, as Navi's economy is quite low, while Eternal Fire has a bank. If Navi wants this to be a close half, well, they need to win this round to break the bank of Eternal Fire. Well, I will skip the start of the round and rather do a detailed breakdown of the execute towards A site from Eternal Fire. Eternal Fire are 5 players in the A area, with 3 players in apps, 1 on short and the last top middle ready to use some utility. While Navi has 3 players on A for the hold, with 1 close short in the off angle, 1 in pit to take some pressure and attention away from the short player, and then the last player looking long. Navi then have 2 players on B site, but they will not be too important right now. For a perfect A execute, there are 1,000 ways of getting it, but the main goal should be to deal with the pit player and smoking A long. So you only need to worry about sight, but the utility are not too great for Eternal Fire with only 2 smokes left and 1 Molotov. Eternal Fire goes for a flash and sends 1 player to swing out on the flash. And this flash just misses bit as he is able to deal with Santaris, but this is crucial information as Santaris can now call that there are 2 players, 1 close and 1 pit. Then Eternal Fire goes for this flash over the roof and Vicaria jumping down to take sight. And on this push, Eternal Fire will Molotov Bit away from Pit to allow Vicaria to get short safely or to force Bit to burn to a crisp. As well as when Vicaria jumps down, he is able to spot long and see 1 player there running before the long smoke will bloom, and the execute goes as planned. The side player is found, while Bit overstays in Pit to find 1 more kill before he as well is traded. And just like that, now we're going into a retake with a 3v3. But Ime understands rotation might be too late to help, and want to make a play, and here pushes out of the long smoke and hits an amazing timing, where none of the Eternal Fire players are watching for this, as Eternal Fire still has one player top middle, one in apps and Vicadia solo on site. And here Ema finds Vicadia before he is traded, and the match is down to 2v2. And you might say this was bad, but by how split Eternal Fire are, I think Ema made the right decision to get one kill. It's a high risk, high reward play. Both Navi players comes from library, and Mayor looks to be sealing this round for Eternal Fire. But Voxic smokes off long, again, and this smoke and the bomb plant will force Navi to go to Mayor. As well as Voxic uses this amazing flash like this. And Mayor has all of them lined up, and here he can only get one kill as he whiffs the spray, which is like a common term here with Mayor. I feel like he always whiffs crucial sprays.
And scraped together and Beacon on it, they're lining up for Master, can't finish the job.
As we saw on Anubis, and leave the match down to 1v1. Alexi has a nade and 2 flashes, and versus an AWP, this is actually good, as Voxic has no utility. So, some flashes to force out a shot, or some sound is crucial. But Voxic are in a very strong position with the AWP towards pit area. Alexi nades, but then decides not to watch it. And here Voxic finds him, and Eternal Fire takes a crucial round.
It's still 2 shots, and Alexi's naded him perfectly, down to half health. 1 bullet will do it. He's running out of time, and Voxic finds that Glock tap to take Eternal Fire to 7 on the T side.
Dust2 was just a different game, and proved the final could go to either teams, as both put up amazing plays and calls. But in the end, and down to the last map, the winner would be crowned. Dust2 has seen a massive update that now makes short and long as important for both CT and T side to control. Round 6 is our first stop on the last map of the grand final, where we are seeing Navi go for a full pistol buy, with almost no utility, while Eternal Fire has a full buy and a lot of nades to support their claim of this round. Eternal Fire is set up with 3 long, 1 in middle and 1 on B, and Eternal Fire has Molotov here on long, as well as outside of B, very standard, while Navi are going for all 5 players towards B site. So it will be a fast B rush then. Well, actually not, as Eternal Fire smokes B main, and this forces Navi down B tunnels. And this, as pointed out by the commentators, are to make sure no players are pushing catwalk.
Redirected down towards lower, so for the moment B bomb site is safe.
I guess just making sure nobody's aggressive cat to be able to read the play early, but it doesn't feel like they could do a lot about it anyway.
Help Navi read the play from Eternal Fire. While in the meantime, when Eternal Fire's mid player did not see any players top middle, he falls back to help on B, but leaving mid and short quite weak. But Navi are not going up short, as short with the boxes are kind of a death trap from the T side now. But let's look at the utility from Navi. They got some flashes and 2 smokes and 1 Molotov. So here their goal is probably to end B no matter what, as these utilities are perfect for it, as you will just spam flashes onto site, smoke door and window and Molotov back plat or site. But to make B easier to take, you have to fake. And here, Cat is weak from Eternal Fire, and it's a perfect spot to put pressure on, as now we will have 2 players peeking Cat with this amazing flash thrown. This is to force Eternal Fire to rotate from B to help. While all of this is happening, Navi will have their mid players walk back and go B. On the smoke from Alexi B, Vicadia goes out of the door to focus middle, and this is perfect as Navi are about to execute on B, and have now managed to split the attention of the B players. A great Molotov from Calix is good, jumps up here, and an even better flash and peek from Navi helps them deal with him, as Vicadia finds 1 more player in middle. But that was the point, as Vicadia now has to focus mid and will be smoked off, and can't help his teammate on site. A massive way of Alexi B to bait himself to set up the rest of his team. Even finds Vicadia through the smoke, as when you spam the smoke it's not too hard to track you through it, and Eternal Fire has to save and loses a crucial round.
Alex, well-timed incendiary, but Flames on their feet, and he gets overrun. Wicardia want to slip the net. He has got the cross of the rest, and JL's options are limited. He's done very well to throw out that smoke, and without a casualty, they lose Wicardia.
Let's now go over to when this game started to heat up. As we saw, Eternal Fire had an amazing lead of 4-1, but now the tables has turned, with Navi being up 9-5. But Eternal Fire has been in this spot before, and it's from the back foot Eternal Fire always shines and come back from. Eternal Fire are down a player, but has full on long control, and Navi are quite split up with Alexi B solo on A site, and then the rest of the players are set up very default. So for Eternal Fire, it's still some hope. As well as Navi does not have the best utility with only 1 Molotov. And on the execute, Eternal Fire will smoke CT, and then Vicadia finds 1 kill before being traded. And I like the play he went for, but it did not change much as Eternal Fire are still down by 1 player. But Eternal Fire after planting the bomb has the advantage as Navi are splitting up, and the long fight should go Eternal Fire's way as Calix has the AK, while Wonderful has an MP9. And on the peak, the kill to change the match and bring some steam to Navi. Wait, what? Wonderful just swings with no fear and wins the long fight. Eternal Fire were set up with the idea of long control, as both the last Eternal Fire players are stuck on site. And that can be good if you have long control. You only need to worry about short and CT. But now you're getting boxed in, and chaos ensures as Eternal Fire can't get a single kill after Vicaria found the entry, and NAVI seems to be stealing this grand final away.
Flanks accounted for.
Yeah, they're holding on to this. Calix, clean headshot, would have gone away! He can't convert, wonderful, good for it. And an old school boost, no need for it. They'll set it up, they'll hit the headshot, and they'll take 10.
Eternal Fire losing round 15 and then winning round 16 is not a rare occasion, as we saw them do this very thing on Ancient. And as this final will go down in history as one of the best, a repeat would not hurt. Eternal Fire are going into this round with 1 AK on the peak god himself and 1 SMG on Vicaria, as Vicaria aggressive entering is perfectly combined with an SMG. Then they have 3 players on pistols, while NAVI are full buying. Voxy uses this cool spawn lineup for a perfect door smoke, and this one covers the whole door, as well as Eternal Fire are setting up with 1 in suicide, 2 top middle and 2 going down B tunnels. So this smoke is what glues the early round together for Eternal Fire. Now we're set up with 2 players taking long with a peek and some utility, 1 helping long before going back to play short, 1 in middle and 1 solo on B, a very common setup, and the main default all teams play on the CT side of Dust 2 at the moment. NAVI uses a Molotov deep on Catwalk. This will usually tell both teams crucial information, with Eternal Fire understanding that Catwalk, at least towards the elbow part of it, should be free or weaker, while NAVI understands that Eternal Fire has not pushed up close yet to short. Eternal Fire goes for all 5 players Catwalk, and here goes for a run boost, just to bait out any player's Catwalk to make sure the crosshair placement is all messed up before they will swing behind this player. And I love that the man run boosting is the fucking AK. But NAVI smokes after hearing steps, and this forces Eternal Fire back and away from short to pivot long.
A little bit early, still decent damage.
More HEs, he's just picked up another one from spawn. Oh, CT smoke, it's an uncomfortable smoke to stare at. It's got like exploitable gaps, but you don't want to put your face anywhere near it.
And there is an issue they can abuse on long, and that is Alexi B, as he is kind of just walking around to help and not able to find his piece on long. And this is something when a rush comes that will kill Alexi B, as he now is kind of focusing on short and long. Alexi B is smart and peeks out once to see a player and be shot at, as he now understands this is a split and Eternal Fire are running out. But for NAVI, this is the worst case scenario. They have no long control and barely any cat control due to the smoke blocking them away from cat as well. So when Alexi falls back, he will nade the cat smoke in hopes that Wonderful can find a kill there, so now we can have some information at least. Bang, bang, bang. Eternal Fire finds 3 kills for 0 deaths. An amazing run from Vicaria, awful tracking by Ime, leaves him as a free target, as well as Wonderful and Alexi is found. What a way to bring this match closer.
Individuals capable of hitting the headshots, going wide with the Mag 10, can't control the spray, and the bodies fall! NAVI collapse, dissolve, evaporate.
It's 11-10. The winner of this round will likely win the whole event, as both teams are looking as broke as I am. So let's go over the execute and long take from Eternal Fire. Both teams had full bot, but NAVI has given away long rather fast, something that is not ideal on the CT side on Dust 2. And here Eternal Fire understand this opening. They have been gifted from NAVI, with Eternal Fire now sending all 5 players long. And let's be honest, going all 5 long is never ideal unless you want to move fast. Well, NAVI, after giving long away, has been able to have Bit take full on mid control and Ime taking short control, so they have won some crucial map control back. But there is an issue. NAVI are focusing B site and B control and not long, as we can see NAVI have 3 players in middle and only 1 on A left to defend. The execute is about to start as soon as NAVI realize it's not B at all, and here we will see NAVI smoke long in hope that this will stop Eternal Fire from pushing, while Eternal Fire goes for this long smoke. And it looks over for NAVI, as Eternal Fire is able to send 1 player to take ramp and 3 more coming from long to site. But on this execute from Eternal Fire, we saw a player who wanted to itch his name in the legend book and finally win a best of 5 final for NAVI. And this was a beauty. And that player, well, he already has the legend in his name as J Legend or JL does the impossible. Here he asked for a flash, and when NAVI needed a hero, before they had Simple to do the impossible, with this new iteration of NAVI, well, they have JL. And here this flash is thrown, and I will let Caster do the rest of the round for you.
Boost is erected, they're overlooking the position, Wonderful hits a shot, makes it a 4-on-4, 48 seconds, they're not in a rush, but Worksick finds another, straight through the CT smoke. Re-smoke up, perfect from EF so far, they are playing this one by the book, flash though, push, it could be huge from JL, it is a triple kill, puts it onto Xantares, can he clutch up? No he can't, Wonderful denies!
And this final proved that NAVI deserved the major, deserves the #1 spot in the world, but as well proves the amazing story of a small, overlooked region in Counter-Strike, assembling to take on the best. and come so close that it is laughable. In the end, Eternal Fire won 58 runs, NAVI won 51. Tally up the rating, Eternal Fire's average team rating for the whole final was 107. NAVI's average team rating was 1. So Eternal Fire in many cases played the better Counter-Strike, but NAVI won the crucial rounds. But I call this video the greatest grand final in Counter-Strike 2, so what even makes it the greatest? Well, the greatest final in CSGO was FaZe vs NAVI, a close BO5, insane plays and more, and this final had all of that. All maps but one was close, their passion from both fans and players, and in the end it accumulated into this final we got, which was the most watched ESL Pro League event ever, with only one super team, as well as being the 7th most watched Counter-Strike 2 event ever and 21 most watched event in Counter-Strike history. Amazing. Thanks for watching, and I have 2 videos YouTube told me you would like. Bye.